Hello again. My name is Bethany, here with Yoga for Change in Tampa. I just like to do a little bit of back strengthening moves and shapes for the whole back body. And we'll begin by lying down or sitting in a comfortable shape, bringing our intentions into focus, bringing our attention more deeply within us. And as you settle into your shape, can you find a deep stillness that's within us all the time? We usually make a lot of busy noise to cover up that stillness, but it is the essence of who we are. It's in there. It's buried under lots of layers sometimes. And as you begin to touch in with that deep stillness, that deep calm and peace, that is who we are, can you relax the grip of your mind? And can you find your body's steady breathing rhythm? Settle into this wisdom of your body. Your body knows where it wants to be, what shapes it likes to be in. It knows how to breathe. It knows how to listen. Let these things come to the forefront without judgment, without trying to change anything. Accept yourself for who you are right at this moment. Give yourself the kindness and the empathy that you deserve as a human being. And once you have found this stillness and allowed yourself to know that deep knowing that that is who we are, take a piece of that and bring it with you as your body begins to move slightly and your eyes begin to open. So let's come so that we're sitting on our bottom. Arms are behind so that you can get a little bit of support. I'm going to step my feet a little bit wider apart. So depending on your shape, you might have longer legs than I do. Your feet might even be off your mat. Drop both knees to the right. Allow the left arm to lift up and reach away, coming into a nice twist. When your body tells you to stop, let your breath move into the tight areas. Let's go the opposite direction. Knees dropping down, opposite arm lifting up, reaching away, twisting. Find that resistance and let it soften. Unravel. You do one more to each side. As the knees drop, opposite arm will lift. And you can explore your arm position. Maybe lifting up like you're trying to reach something. Maybe lowering down towards the floor. All these different angles are going to give you different sensations. Find the sensation that works best for you right now. And then we'll move to the other side. Take your time. Find the arm position that really works for you. It might be different side to side. It probably will be. You might want to reach away like you're trying to grab something. You might want to reach down low. Feel where these different sensations arise. And you can choose the one that supports you right now. Unraveling. And let's bring the fingertips facing backwards. Draw your shoulders down your back. Lift your breastbone. And see how that feels. My tailbone is also lifting, so here we are. And then soften the breastbone. Okay. Rolling the shoulders back. See if the shoulder blades themselves can draw down and lift the breastbone again. Okay. And soften. One more time. When you're ready, shoulders drop down the back, breastbone lifts. Tailbone is also lifting. I'm rolling towards the front of my sitting bones. Good. Notice where the breath feels like, oh, it's kind of stuck there. You can move it into that area. And soften. Take your time making your way onto your belly. Create a pillow with your hands. And take your legs as wide apart as they need to be so that you're not experiencing pinching sensation in your low back. Some of us, that means we really have to take our legs a little bit wider. Yeah. Let's soften the head. Let the forehead rest. I'm going to turn my head to the side so that you can hear what I'm saying. So you don't have to turn your head to the side. But in this shape, take your breath more into your side rib cage. Can you expand the breath to the right ribs, to the left ribs? Just a few more moments of this soft breathing. Breathing with awareness, with attention to where the breath is moving. You might feel the ribs on the right side of the body, left side, actually moving away from each other. And that's your intention. You've created that. And then you can let go of directing your breath. Just let your body breathe the way it knows how. Bring your arms now into a goalpost shape. Your head can be resting down still. Again, my head's going to hover because I'm talking. So you can feel a lot more restful. The elbows are touching the carpet outside of my mat now. And I'm keeping my elbows down and lifting my lower arms up. And then lowering back down. Lift and lower at your own pace. And you'll feel a very strong sensation probably here, like in the shoulder blade area, but also maybe even in your armpit. And it's very common to want to lift your arm more than your muscles are actually able to right now. And then sometimes it looks like this. Like your wrist will start to lift up like it's trying to lift your arm. So try to keep the hands in line with the wrist. And you'll notice that one arm might be able to lift far higher than the other. Again, completely normal. Good. Next time the palms of the hands are touching, just pause. You can make that pillow for your head again, rest. Notice if any other muscles are letting go now. Like, for example, the muscles in your bum might have been squeezing, even though they are not necessary for lifting the shoulder in that way. And we'll bring the arms back into that goalpost shape. Head can hover, it can rest. Let's lift the arms up so they're hovering. They don't have to be very high. Just about a little bit below your shoulder height. And let's see if you can straighten your arms here and then bend the elbows and draw your elbows in towards your waist. So straightening and bending. staying with whatever sensations are rising for you. Good. And the next time the elbows are in the goalpost shape, go ahead and rest down. If lying on your belly is just not super comfortable, you can press yourself back during these rests. You can press yourself back into an all-fours kneeling shape and just let yourself rock side to side. There's no wrong movement here. Just find the most comfortable. You might also need some padding under your hips. Coming forward again. I'm going to rest my hands on the back, my head on the back of my hands here, and let's focus more on the legs. So I'm reaching my right leg far away from my body. I'm reaching it as if a really kind person has grabbed my ankle and they're pulling me. So I'm not trying to get really high. I'm not trying to lift my leg as high as it can go. I'm trying to get it longer, lengthening it out of the hip socket. And then it will lift up, but lifting isn't the goal. And then lower. I'm going to lengthen my left leg as if a kind person has grabbed my ankle and pulling it. And as it lengthens, it might lift up. Just noticing where that effort is coming from and slowly lower. Alternate at your own pace now. Reaching away with one leg, holding and releasing, reaching away with your other leg, same thing. You can go as quickly or as slowly as you want. I want you to feel where this effort is coming from. Good. Just one more time on each leg, your own pace. Completely let that go and shake it out. And now you might be able to lengthen the right leg back. It will lift a little bit. Maybe also the left leg so they're both hovering. And see how that feels for you. And see if maybe you can take your legs a little wider apart and then close them. This is usually surprisingly difficult. There's a lot of effort happening here. So go at your own pace. And the next time your legs are just a little bit wide, you can let them relax down, shake it out, feel those sensations. This would be another time where if you want to press back, this would be okay. You could also just lie on your belly this whole time. Good. Coming back down, if you're up, I'm going to bend the right elbow, turn so that the left cheek of my face, the left face cheek, is on the back of my right hand, and I'm looking at my right elbow. Now my left arm can completely relax and do whatever it wants to do. My face cheek and my hand are glued together right now. And I'm going to lift up and lower. Lift up any amount and lower. Do that at your own pace. You don't have to go at my pace. We all have our own natural rhythm, and I want you to find your own. And then next time that you're down, you can rest. Bring the forehead to the back of the hands or press yourself back. I'm going to spin myself around so I'll be facing you again. So when you are ready, when you bring your right arm to rest now, I'm turning towards my left elbow, the right face cheek, the right side of my face is touching the back of my left hand, and I'm looking at my left elbow. And when you're ready, your back of your hand is glued to your face. Begin to lift and lower at your own pace. And notice where that effort is coming from. Let's move in a way that you can still breathe easily. The next time you're down, you bring the right hand back, give yourself a little rest. Again, you can always rest by pressing back into the all fours position as well. Let's bring the elbows so that they're underneath the shoulders, coming into what we call the Sphinx pose. Now your arms are perfect where they are, so elbows under shoulders. And I want you to pretend that you're going to pull your elbows towards your body, but don't actually move them. Just that effort of imagining you're going to pull, let the shoulders move down, take your heart through the gateway of your upper arms. So pull your heart through. Bring your breath more into the side rib cage again. If you're feeling pinchiness in your back, take your legs a little wider apart. If you're still feeling pinchiness in your back, you can just walk your arms a little bit forward and then pull. Just find what works for you. Softening into this shape. And as you're pulling forward, feel the lengthening that you're feeling in the abdominal muscles. So back bending stretches the abdominal muscles. It makes them very taffy-like. So I like to imagine like my abs are just taffy that are pulling away from each other. And let them relax into this stretch. They're not supposed to be hard here. They're supposed to be soft. And let's slowly lower down. As you lower, lengthen. So still get long as you lower. Good. Rest. Feel the sensations that have been left from those movements. And can you bring your breath right where you're feeling those sensations? And we'll bring the arms forward now. So my arms are forward, palms are touching. Lift one arm and lower. Lift your other arm and lower. Good. Move like this, feeling what you're feeling. Now you might be able to add the opposite leg. So I'm lifting the left arm and the right leg. And remember, when you're lifting your leg, you're really just lengthening it. Same with the arms. You're really reaching forward and the limb will lift up. Just a few more like this. Sometimes the back muscles can get really tired quickly. So if you're feeling some tinge, like a little bit of tiredness, go ahead and rest. It's fine. And then we'll allow the arms to come down, legs to come down. Rest your forehead on your fist. Come into the all fours kneeling position. Perfect. All right. So coming back, I'm going to flip around. So my right, I'm going to take the shape where my right elbow's out to the side, my left arm is resting, left face cheek on the back of my right hand, looking at my right elbow. And then when I lift, I'm going to come back to what we just did. I'm going to add the left leg to this. So reaching the left leg back, lifting and lowering. Just a couple more like this. Good. And the next time you come down, you can rest. bothers you in daily life, if you have like some twinges or whatever, you don't have to do a lot of back strengthening. Like, you don't have to do this for a full hour. Just do it at your own pace. Do a couple of these. Choose a couple to do. Your back gets strong very quickly. These are huge muscles. And also tinier, but they love to get strong. So we'll do the other side, right face cheek on the back of the left hand, looking towards the left elbow. Lifting and also lengthening the right leg behind. Nice. Right arm is just hanging out. So you can feel the whole back chain of the body firing up, including your bottom muscles. Leg strength and strengthening your glutes really helps the back. It takes the load right out of the back. Good, next time you're done, you can rest. Let the breath move into the side ribs. Can you bring your breath out there? Good job. So you're going to press back up. Flip onto your bottom. Sit with the sensations here for a second. Like, how does your back feel? Does it feel activated? So sometimes if you've experienced back pain in your life, you're very sensitive to any sensation in your back at all. So it's important that we learn what was strengthening and what is actual pain. It can be really hard to figure that out because nobody wants back pain, understandably. Let's take the knees really wide apart. Drop the knees to one side. You can let this arm lift up. And I'm simply going to bring the opposite arm just onto the front knee and twist a little bit without using my arm. Yeah. Other side. Knees come up. Drop down. Arms reaching towards the leg, twisting in my torso. And then one more time on each side. If you want to, you can stretch the arm down, up. It's totally up to you. If that felt better, definitely do it. I'm just more twisting in the torso. Okay. And the other side. And depending on how you feel, you could come into resting right now. I'm going to add one more thing on. So coming back to the position we were doing in the beginning, it's called Parsvottanasana in yoga, in the Sanskrit term. So you're going to roll the shoulders back and down, let them glide down your back. And you might have a little bit more movement there, which is good because the shoulder blades are like little hands on your back. And when they can move down and go up, they are just little helpful hands helping your breastbone lift. When they get stuck on like a tight muscle, that's when we can feel really tight. So sliding down, letting the breastbone lift up, staying here or pressing into your feet and your hands, coming up into a table. That's a lot of pressure on the wrist, so if your wrists don't like it, don't worry about it. You could also straighten your legs and lift. Can you glide your shoulders even more down your back? Come out the way you came in, whatever was your choice. Lower down. Good job. Take a moment, give yourself a little hug. You can allow your head to hang when we're working in the upper back, gliding the shoulders down. When we're working in the whole back chain, sometimes the neck loves to get involved. Let your neck relax. Good. When you are ready, begin to move towards a resting shape. You can walk yourself down, resting on the back body. Everything that we've just been working and strengthening now has the pressure of the body on it. Can you use the pressure and the weight of your body to allow those muscles to soften, absorb all of the good work they did, and relax. Press your breath backwards into the back ribs, the back lungs. 60% of our available lung tissue is actually in the back of our lungs. Now you'll be pressing it into a firm surface if you're lying on your back, and then you'll notice that because the back ribs really can't expand into the floor, the front ribs are going to lift and fill. And you can play with this as you're getting settled in, pressing the breath backwards into the muscles we've just worked. The breath is going to be a massage for this area now. You can take your legs a little wide apart, drop your knees in towards each other. That will encourage your low back to take its neutral shape. And sometimes I enjoy resting exactly like this. There's no effort in my legs because they're leaning on each other. You might also choose to straighten your legs. Give yourself permission to relax completely. I'm setting a timer for a few minutes. I'm going to do 10. You have nothing left to do. I'll talk you back out when the timer goes off. Bring your attention back to your breath. And if you're just experiencing a very, very heavy, tired feeling, you do not have to come out of your resting shape. That's an indicator that your body needs a little more rest. If, however, spontaneous movement has begun creeping in, your body probably wants to move. And allow any spontaneous movement that arises for you to come in. You might want to join me in a seated shape. There's no rush to get here. If you've rolled to your side, maybe you just want to lie on your side for maybe even 3 to 5 more minutes. Definitely do that. Stillness is one of the greatest gifts we can give to ourselves. As our mind is always jumping around. When we find deep stillness, hold on to it. Stay there. Remind yourself what it feels like. It's a skill to be able to deeply dive into stillness, which means that we can access it when we need to. So if you're accessing your stillness and you don't want to move, stay there. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.